The ownership status of the Teita sisal estate land in Mwatate, Teita Taveta County, is now in the public knowledge after the company director, Philip Kiraizi, through the company advocate, shared with the public the list of company owners since 1927 to date. The sisal company occupies 4 parcels of land with a total of 30,284 acres. This came after the company announced the selling of 3,000 acres amid ownership concerns by a section of community and leaders. Our reporter Hezron Kimari has documented the history of the Teita estate land ownership and now reports from Mwatate.
This is Teita Estate Sisal Plantation located in Mwatate in Teita Taveta County. It was established in 1927 with a lease of 999 years. The farm's ownership kept on changing since its formation until 1973, when Philip Kiriazi's family bought it after it was placed under receivership. According to a report shared with the public in Voi, Charles Sidney Goldman was the first owner of LR number 3880 and 3881 since 1st April 1927, before selling it to Teita Concessions Limited on 16th May 1929. On 29th June 1953, the land was taken by Ngerenyi Plantation Limited until July 1961, when Teita Sisal Estate Limited took it. In August 1963, the farm was taken over by the Regional Assembly and later changed hands to TNT Sisal Company Limited on May 1964. Teita Estate took over ownership since 19th April 1973 to date, under Philip Kiriazi as the director. The report further states that parcel number 6924 was first owned by Charles Sidney Goldman from 1st May 1930 to 12 October 1932, when Teita Concessions Limited took over. In July 1961, Teita Sisal Estates Limited owned the land until 30th May 1964, before the ownership shifted to TNT Sisal Company Limited. But the farm has been under Teita Estate since 13th April 1973 to date. The report shows that parcel number 9487 was owned by Teita Concessions Limited from 1st January 1950 to 4th July 1964, when TNT Sisal Company took it. Later, on 16th April 1973, Teita Sisal Estate bought the farm. Again, parcel number 11378 was owned by Teita Sisal Estate Limited from 1st July 1963 to 30th May 1964, when TNT Sisal Company Limited took it and later was sold to Teita Sisal Estate on 13th April 1973.
So, kama tumemaliza Tanzania, tulifika Kenya, banki lile tulikuwa nafanya kazi Tanzania, waliona kwamba mzee anaweza kufanya hii kazi, walimuuliza kuje akwe manager ya hizi shamba zitolewe kutoka pahali wapi walikuwa. Okay? So 66 paka 72, ilikuwa 71 lakini ilikuwa very late 71. So walimaliza lile madeni zote 72. Na hiyo ni kwa nini inasema 1972 in brackets. Wafahamu? Just so you understand. Sitaki mtu aseme unajua hii kitu na nini. Sio hivyo. Hii ni lile historia kutoka vile inatokea. Okay? Na unaweza kuuliza, it's public information, kuuliza Companies House wakupatie zile majina za hizo makampuni zote, my directors zao.
Kampuni nazo ziko the same way. TNT, Ngerenyi, Teita Concessions, hao ni watu tofauti mbele ya sheria. Tumeelewana? Hata shareholders wenye kampuni directors ni tofauti. Hakuna uhusiano na Teita Estates Limited. Teita Concessions Limited wakamuuzia Teita Sisal Estates Limited mwaka 1961. Hizi tarehe sijatoa kwa kichwa, nimetoa kwa record za serikali.
A section of the community living around Singila Majengo, which borders the Teita Sisal Estate, has been embroiled in a boundary dispute with the investor for some time now. In September 2017, former Land CS Professor Jacob Kaimeni signed and approved a report by the Parliamentary Lands Committee on the boundary dispute. The finding of the report further stated that Teita Estate had not encroached on the community land. Instead, a section of the community was blamed for encroachment.
So the survey work was completed within 2 weeks with the following outputs or outcome. So, all the boundary beacons for the 4 parcels of land in question were searched. Most of the beacons were found intact, and the few not found in place were re-established as per survey regulations. The total acreage of the land is 30,284 acres, as indicated on the survey maps for the 4 parcels. Second recommendation was, or comment was, the sisal estate was operating within the 4 parcels and had not encroached onto the neighboring community land, road, trust land around Tasha Hill, and railway reserves. The community has encroached onto parts of the sisal estate, including Singila Majengo, sections along the Voi-Mwatate Road.
Actually, the boundary of Mwatate municipality is the boundary of Teita Estates Limited. So Teita Estates Limited, in terms of geographical coverage of your proposed land use plan of Mwatate, is covered as a municipality.
During a public engagement forum with Teita Estate in Voi, several concerns were raised by the public seeking clarification about the lease period of the 3,000 acres of land on sale.
Ambayo hiyo hati miliki mama haikuwa na ekari 30,000, ilikuwa na ekari 60,000. Ndiposa Ngerenyi Plantations Limited walichukua ekari kadhaa, na hiyo title ndio ikaenda na hiyo sehemu.
So this report by Ober, as far as I'm concerned, where he was complaining about the amalgamation of the report and how the reports were not taken into account, I just want us all to agree that there was an issue.
And that's why the numbers of the same title have changed from 0 to _1 to _2 to stroke. Every time the government changed it, the Ministry of Lands changed it. The Ministry of Lands changed it. It wasn't the Shamba who changed it. It was the ministry who did it then changed the position of the farm so as not to encroach onto where the indigenous Taitas lived, worked and did their work. So it was deemed that it had to be moved further south. So it consistently was being moved.
The residents further proposed that the investor considers reducing the price of the 50 by 100 plots from 270,000 and the 6-month payment period be extended.
So today we have had a very successful meeting because all the issues which we were raising concerning the tenure of the land, the approval processes, and even for the fair value concerning the valuation have been addressed. And so it behoves us as the leaders of this community then to sit down and see how best we can proceed as a community.
Tungependelea kwamba tujiangalie sisi watu wa Taita Taveta na tujiulize kama kweli shamba inauzwa. Hii karobo ni an eighth, it is an eighth, not a quarter, an eighth. I think it is very small for the price that is being quoted. If really we want to be inclusive about the people of Taita Taveta.
Tuliamua kwamba wadugu tuwapatie mataita hizi ardhi, tuwapatie na title, lakini tufanye kitu moja, tujenge town ya maana, tujenge kitu tunaweza kusema imesaidia county kuliko imeirudisha nyuma.
Teita Estate is one of the largest sisal plantation farms in the region. It has been the nerve of the economy in Taita Taveta County. The farm has employed many locals with more secondary economic dependence. It has also been issuing bursaries and supporting football clubs. Some residents of Taita Taveta have already shown interest in purchasing the sisal land. Hezron Kimari, KTN News, Mwatate, Taita Taveta County.
All right, we take a short break right here on Business Today. We'll be back with more.